Hi, everybody. Good morning or afternoon, as depending on whenever you're watching this. Today is February the 2nd, or sorry, March the 2nd. And so I'm going to go over the things I made in February. It's a bunch of smaller items. So I did the math, and it actually came out to 48 items. And I made a list this time. Last time I didn't have a list, so I wasn't able to give more accurate numbers. So let's get started what I made. I was in a reusable mood item. So my first little batch here, I made some loofahs. And I actually made 3 of them, but I have 2 of them on me because I already sold one. And these are made out of 100% cotton. This was from the brand Lily Sugar and Cream. And it's really easy to make them. They just take a little bit of time. But I did a chain 12 using a 6 hook. And it is 3 rounds of ruffles, basically. First 2 rounds, I did 4 double crochet. And the third round, I did 3. And they turned out pretty good. And then I did a chain 50 for my link. You could make it shorter if you want, but I kind of like this link because I like the idea that it can go on your wrist a little better. And this is in buttercream, I think. And this is in the jewel color. And then in that little box, I also made a couple of keychains. I was experimenting because I want to start making some wristlets. So I did this one using a new chain pattern that I got from watching Chibi Wee on TikTok Live. And it actually looks pretty cool. I do think that if I use, I think it's called paracord, it'd be a little sturdier and better. But once again, I like the way it works. This is also 100% cotton. And then I did this one. And it is an Aldi's key or quarter holder. So you put your little quarter in there and you can put it on your keychain and you always have your quarter for when you go to the grocery store. Aldi is a grocery store in the Midwest in case your area doesn't have one and you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about. But or you can use it for if you have something near you that uses a quarter, because we put a quarter in the cart thing. So you could basically rent the cart for a quarter and then return it. But there's those keychains that I made. And then I've got, what's next? Face scrubbies. So I got a bunch of face scrubbies. And I did them in a lot of different colors. So on the face scrubbies, I actually made a total of 15 this month. And I made them in a lot of different colors. So I have this one. And then this one, I ran out of one of these colors. So then I just used the other one. And then I doubled this one up. Because most scrubbies are just one-sided, I took mine and made them two-sided because I prefer to use a bigger hook. So I used a size 5 and then doubled it up. I've also got this one in buttercream. And we've got this one, buttercream. And then I ran out, so then I started using pink. And then I experimented with making a bigger one. But I found that I really liked this size. And then I've also got these little bitty ones here, which are actually more like the size of a cotton round, which is why I was trying this one out. And I've also got my strawberry one here, which is really cute. I've got this bright yellow one. I think this one is Soleil Ombre. Now, if you look at my channel on YouTube, I do have a tutorial going over how to make one of these. And I actually use this color to show it. It is my very first tutorial. Somebody asked me to do it on TikTok, which is why the video that's posted on YouTube is kind of weird because it's 2 shorter videos mashed together. Because on TikTok, I couldn't make it as long as I wanted to. It went over the 10-minute increment time, so I had to split it up into 2. And then I combined them, so I put it on YouTube, so it was all one solid video. But it's my first tutorial. So, take that with what you will, because it is not perfect. but it does get the job done to where it shows you how to do these. And if I make any more tutorials in the future, I'll hopefully do a lot better job. You know, you get better with time and practice. And then I also made some washcloths and some soap savers. Now I made a total of 7 soap savers this month. And I made different types because I was experimenting. So I've got like this bigger one here. And it's a little weird shaped because I was trying something out for a new pattern. And then I also got this bigger one here, which this one I actually like. It's bigger. And because I was trying to find one that would fit the face scrubbies in them. So whenever you wash them, you could basically, 2 in one thing, you can use these for soap or to wash the things. So I've got those 2, which are bigger. And then the rest of these will be the same pattern that I came up with or decided on. So we've got one in strawberry here. And then we've got one on the pink. One on the jewel color. And then one on the teal. Because I plan to sell some of these in sets. So I wanted to have correlating colors. And then this is another area, the next one, washcloths, where I have multiple different sizes because I was experimenting on what I wanted. So these are the big ones. So I use a size 5 hook for all these, and I just made granny squares. And I did, this one is 7 rows, and I've got 2 of those. And then I did with 6 rows, and so I've got one of these with 6. And then the rest of these are with 5. I found I like the 5 the best, so I got a little stack here. So I've got the jewel tone, the buttercream. I think this one is, I want to say blush pink. Could be wrong. Or is it cosmetic pink? And then I've got 2 of the strawberry one, which are really cute. I think that's one of my favorites. That with this one and then the jewel, I think are my 3 top favorite colors. And then we got a plain solid one. And then on the washcloths, I made a total of 12 this month. So those were a lot of smaller items. So I was able to get a bunch of those done in like one day. Or when I had the time to like knock them out. Now, I only made 1 hat. Which is fine. I was trying something out because I haven't actually done a solid granny, or usually I use the granny cluster, so I don't usually do the solid. So I was experimenting on it, figured out if I liked it or not. And then that was it. I was trying something out. So on this one, the way it goes up the side is not, I was experimenting with the different way to do stitches. So this is probably a hat that I'll end up donating or giving away to somebody because it is still useful. I just don't want to sell it because it's, in my opinion, not sellable quality. And then, once again, Chibi Weave strikes. And she was doing these bags on her live. And I made a total of 3 of them this month. And I just think it's so cute. So basically, it's 2 granny squares together. And you attach them together and you do your little border here, which is the front post, back post. And then this is that chain stitch that it looks like a chain, which is, excuse me, perfect for a bag, which she has these set as like an across the body bag. But I think you could do either way. But I've got 3 of these made. So I've got this purple one. And I used all in one granny square on this one. And this one. I did a blue one as well. And then this is how I've got little strings on them. So you can tie it up. So that's how it closes. So we've got those 2. And then the last one is more of a March themed. And this was the first one I made. So I used a different size hook than her. Because she was using a 5, I think. And I was using a 6. So I made my chain a little too short because I was experimenting. But this is like a little pot of gold. Or you could make it that way anyway. Because I was thinking of St. Patty's. we got that one, which is also super cute. So we also, like I said, reusable. So I've got a couple, I was experimenting on how to make a Swiffer duster thing. So I've got 3 versions here. I'm going to slip it on so I can show you. 3 versions. So this was my first one. And I was trying to make the fluffiness, which I think this would work. Definitely something that's doable. But I was like, I could do better. So I upped it and made it where the little stringy things coming off of it were a little fluffier. And see that, yeah, those were much fluffier, much better. So I like the way this one looks a lot better. And then I was sitting there thinking, like, I still think it needs more. Like, it needs to be wider, because when you look at this, when you put the thing on, it goes wider. And I'm like, but I don't know how to make those extend out to where they're fluffy still, because I'm using cotton. If I was to use blanket yarn or like a Bernat, like fluffy yarn, I think this would have been fine because it would have been naturally fluffy. But I'm trying to switch over to more sustainable yarns, because I'm more environment conscious than some people, and I realize that acrylics are made from plastic, which I love my big twist yarn. I really do, which makes me sad about Joanne. But trying to step out and get some more environmentally friendly yarns involved, or at least get them secondhand, or different things about that. That's a whole another topic. But I was like, I can do better on this other one. And I think I did. I think I did a good job. So this one is made with bobble stitches. So, and I got it wider. So I made 2 little panels. The first one being the one with this bobble stitch. Did a single crochet border. And on this back panel here, I've got double crochets and single crochets, and then double crochets again, bordered with single crochet. And then down the middle here, you can see I go where the prongs are, like where this little space is. I've got it to where I stitched through it to where I could just slide it in, and now I can use it, which I've got it on backward, I think. Yeah, we want it this way so we can dust. And now it's usable, and it's much wider like I wanted. Now it's not fluffy, but I think this is cute, and I think it turned out of the 3 the best. So I've got those 3 different dusters that I did. And then I also was experimenting with a couple other things. One of them being a little sponge. So I tried to make a little kitchen sponge. This one is a little odd shaped because it's the first one. Still working my kinks out. But it turned out really cute, and it's definitely usable. So this and a couple of my other items will be given to a friend of mine that is trying to use more reusable items and is okay with taking my wonky stuff. There's one there. And then I was making, this is for the Swiffer mop pad. So you slide it on, and the reason why I would actually show it to you on it, but this is my first one. And if you can see, this side is thinner than this side. So whenever I was doing the back portion, I did 1 less row on this side than I did on this side, because I was still trying to figure out what would be the best fit. So this is one of those wonky items that my friend is getting, but I know how to do it better. So my next one will be better to go, because this next month I plan to make a couple more of these and the Swiffers, the little duster one. So this is one of my best things I made this month. Now, sorry, I kind of yelled that. But this next thing I am so excited about. And if you actually pay attention to my channel, you've done seen it. There are no spoilers on this. But I was so happy I couldn't wait to show it. So I have a lot of videos on between TikTok and YouTube on it. But my best item, I feel, of the month, or at least the one that made me the happiest, and I made it with all-in-one granny square yarn called Rat Party. And they are pants. Pants, pants, pants. Because who doesn't like pants? Pants. Sorry. Just really excited. But now, when I made them, I just did a big granny square. So I did one granny square that was big enough to go around my thigh, because this is pants fit for me. So, and what you do to get that measurement, if you want to do it yourself, grab tape measure, go around your hip, cut that number in half. So like my hips were 48. So if you go cut that in half, that would be 24. So I did 24 inches is what it's supposed to be, but I did a couple rows less because I know that since this is acrylic, it stretches. If I was doing cotton, 24 inches what you want to stick with. But I ended up doing 20 rows, I think it was. 20 rows down here. So I did 2 big granny squares. And then I did the measurement of my waist to my crotch area. Or I guess that's, I don't know what the better term for that is. Down, my little section there, made measurements. And that turned out to be 10 inches to give me enough room for the front and the back. And then I just got a stitch marker. And from the bottom of that square, I took it to that stitch marker. I stitched it up, and I did that on both sides. And then I put them together and then stitched them up the back and the front to turn them basically at that point into shorts. But I wanted pants, so then I extended out. For me, it ended up being 15 rows, I think it was. I lose track of where the square actually ends and it starts. But I tried on the shorts, figured out the measurements of where I wanted to go, and it ended up being 15 rows. So I did 10 in this, and then I bordered it with 5 in black. And I did that on both sides to make them into pants. And then on the top, you can do ribbing, normal ribbing if you want. I don't like the whole single crochet, whatever it is, into the back loop only. Frustrates the hell out of me. I don't like it. So I do the front post, back post, all the way around. So I think this was 5 or 6 rows at the top. I wanted it to be a certain look, so I just went until the look felt right. But you can totally measure that out, do what you want. And then I did a chain, and I fed it all the way through so I could tighten it. Now, disclaimer, I have to figure out a different way that I want to tie, because doing it this way did not make it to where it was tight as I wanted to at the top. So I'm going to work on a different way of tying it. But because as you see, this top part is a little wide, but that's okay. You can bring it in because they are super comfy. They are really warm, which of course, making pants at the end of February, beginning of March, I don't think I'm going to get a lot of use out of these because we're in that whole, it's basically 60 degrees outside weather. But I am so excited and so proud of the fact that I made pants. They are the first ones. So of course, they could be better because they can always be better because you learn from each thing that you make. But I just wanted to say, if you can make a granny square, you can make pants. Pants. I know. Once again, I'm just so excited. But yeah, see, these are the biggest items that I made this month. And they did take me, I started on a Saturday morning and basically spent the entire day, Saturday and half of Sunday working on these. And then Monday and Tuesday after work working on them. So it roughly took me, I would want to say, about 20-ish hours to do. So I do not plan to probably ever sell pants because no one is going to want to buy like $300 pants for me because that's probably about what I would charge for these. Not because they're just not going to want to buy them. But that's okay. I made them. And I will probably make more in the future, either for myself or for some relatives, some gifts maybe. We'll see. But you guys have a wonderful March. This was what I made in February. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please comment, like, share, whatever you want to do. If you have any ideas on anything that you would like to see me make, comment that below. And if you see anything that you would like to see a tutorial on, I have no problem sharing my knowledge that I have. I've never written any patterns. So if you want a pattern for anything, comment that below as well. And I can either send you to the person that I actually got the pattern from, to where they get the right credit and recognition, or I can start working on my own pattern, which there's a couple items I wouldn't mind doing the patterns for, but it's going to be a while. But I have no idea which one I want to do it on. I haven't decided. So that would help me decide if you tell me what you want to see. But you guys have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful rest of the month of March. See you next month.